Hello, and welcome. Sorry, technical difficulties with the live stream already. That's going to be fun. So, hi, and welcome. I'm Jenna. If you guys have never seen me before, but you've been part of the channel for a while, sometimes I'm a little behind the scenes. Sometimes you just see the cards. Sometimes you see me. During the lives, obviously, you're probably going to see me a little bit more. So, we're going to be shifting gears over here on this channel for a little bit. I have been working on some things behind the scenes during the summer. So some of those things you're going to start to see in the coming weeks. One of those is going to be we're going to start to do some charm readings or some charm casting readings over here. So you take a little mat that has little things on it and you sprinkle the charms over the top, and wherever they happen to fall, we read what those happen to mean. So that's one of the things you're going to start to see over here probably about mid-August. I'm waiting for the charms to come in. So when those get here, we're going to start to do some of those. We're also going to incorporate those into some lives so you guys can actually purchase a charm reading in the future. It's not ready yet because I'm waiting on the charms to get here. So once they get here, we'll start to introduce some of that. So you guys don't see me over here on lives quite as often as I go live on TikTok. That's going to start to be a change as well. Hi, Brittany. Good to see you. Glad to see some familiar faces, even if it's just your screen name. So instead of going live so much on TikTok, I'm going to be shifting gears and we're going to do more live streams over here on YouTube. And there's a reason for that. One being is that we tend to get a lot of people that pop into a live, but they don't really stick around over there. And I have a lot of really awesome subscribers that have stuck with me through TikTok changes, stuck with me through YouTube changes. And so over here, I'm going to set things to subscribers only when we go live. And the main reason for that is I want to keep kind of the riffraff out of the lives, especially in the chat, people that spam things, people that are really negative, things like that, people that really aren't here to help support the channel's content. I don't really want to deal with them. I don't really want to read for them, anything like that. So we're going to start to shift things to over here. The other reason why we're going to start to shift things over here is because there is this gloom and doom over on TikTok all the time right now about TikTok bans and restrictions and all these things. So as of tomorrow, they're implementing some new restrictions to live streams over there. And I'm just kind of fed up. Like, it went from being a lot of fun over there and a really great experience and learning and meeting new people to now it's just really negative, and it's more frustrating than it is fun. And so instead of uploading different content on both channels, I've literally been committed to uploading things on YouTube first, and then TikTok's kind of getting the leftovers, or I upload the same content over there. And a lot of times it's not getting any views whatsoever. So those are the main reasons why I'm going to focus my energy over here on YouTube instead. YouTube is global, so we know people can see us from literally everywhere. I've only ever had an issue where my content was blocked one time, and it was with a podcast episode, and it was blocked in, I want to say, Russia somewhere, so they couldn't see that episode of the podcast. But short of that, I haven't had any major issues with YouTube. They've also been a lot better about when you report somebody's account for like harassment, bullying, things like that. They actually block them immediately, where TikTok really doesn't take care of that at all. And so I'm just kind of over it. I'm tired of dealing with young kids that, really aren't in it for growth or anything. I would like to gear it more towards adult content. That's what all of my videos are set to, is made for adults, not made for children. So we're making some changes across the board. So those are some things that are going to go on. Yes, the idiots, Gisela. Hi, welcome on in. Yes. So I know there's a lot of people that don't even have TikTok, and they're just like, TikTok, why would I go over there? So if you only have ever seen me on YouTube, well, get ready. You're about to see a lot more of me over here, and you might get sick of me, and that's okay too. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully you want to come and hang out and chit chat with us. So I was going live over there. Like last year, I was going live almost every single Saturday evening about this time, about 7:30 in the evening. I figure most people are usually off work. You've probably had dinner. You're kind of unwinding for the night. So if that time doesn't work for you, I'm going to go live at different times. I'm going to try and go live sometimes during the day to catch people who maybe it's their day off or they work from home and they have a few minutes to spare. Those ones are going to be fairly short lives. They're not going to be super long or anything because I figure most people probably aren't around during the day. But if they are, great. Pop on, say hi. If you've only got a second, send me a wave, whatever you want to do, and do what you feel like you're going to do. The evening ones, I'm going to try and make either a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday evening so that you guys are able to hopefully jump on and participate. Again, the live streams over here are going to be set to subscribers only. So you're the only ones who can comment in the chat. You're the only ones who can actually participate. And there's a good reason for that. One, you've stuck it out with me. We've been through a lot of changes. We've gone through name changes for the channel 2 or 3, 4 times. I can't even remember how many. We've had to reboot the channel twice because of glitches that I've ran into. The podcast has been renamed 2 or 3 times because of copyright issues that I went into. Changing how the lineup for the week goes over here. Just a lot of trial and error, and that's par for the course. And so those of you that have stuck it out with me for well over a year at this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you have hung out with me, that you interact, that you comment, that you come to lives, that you participate in polls that I put up, or however you interact with my content. Thank you. It means the world to me. So we have grown exponentially in the last 3 days, and I don't really know why, but all of a sudden I have a ton of new followers. So hi, I'm Jenna. I'm a psychic medium. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I'm an author of 2 published books. I have some merch in my Linktree, the link in the bio. It's also in the top of the chat. So if anybody wants to purchase a reading during the evening's events tonight, you can do that. I have 2 prices for tarot. One is a basic 12-card spread. It's $25. So that's your basic reading. I can read a lot of information in 12 cards. So if you're interested in booking a personal tonight, those are available. We're not monetized over here yet. I hope that happens at some point in the future. You guys could send super chats and stickers and things like that. However, I'm going to keep uploading content regardless because this is part of my mission work. It's part of why I'm here. So if you want to support a small-time creator, I have a lot of ways that you can do that. Some of them cost money and some of them don't. The best one that you can do to help support me is to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification setting. That way, when we go live, you can come hang out. You can interact with us. You can get some free cards. And yes, there are going to be free cards. Why? Because it's set to subscribers only. So I know you guys are part of my collective. You guys are part of the bread and butter, as we like to call it, and you're part of what keeps the channel active. So I like to give back to you guys. I post freebies from time to time. You guys will see that. If I post a freebie, I'm going to post it in 2 ways. I'm going to post it on the community tab or the post tab. So you will see that there is a printed version. And then I typically will post a little short video that you can comment on to enter if there's any sort of giveaway or any sort of freebie going on. So I post it in 2 ways. I don't believe there's any fake accounts impersonating me. Just know that if there ever are, I'm not going to be reaching out to you to book a reading first off. So I will never initiate contact about a reading. I'm never going to go, Spirit told me you need a reading from me. Not how it works. So you have to email me typically to book a reading. So my email is listed in several places. It's in my Linktree, the link in the bio. It is listed. If you click the about portion of the channel, it's in there. It's in all the description boxes of pretty much every video on my channel. And that's the one thing that has not changed since we started the tarot channel. So there's lots of ways that you can reach out to me. You can comment on a video if you don't know where to find it. I will do my best to answer you in a timely manner. It's just me over here. So I read all your messages, I read all your comments, and I try my best to get back to you in a timely manner. That said, I am still human. I do still have a life outside of the internet. And so sometimes I'm out frolicking in my garden. Sometimes I'm messing around with my dogs. Sometimes I'm out goofing with my kids. So I'm not always inside behind the screen. So if it takes me a while to respond to you, know that I will eventually see your message and I will reply. So If you are trying to book with me, I typically have same-day turnaround. That's not always the case. Sometimes I'm booked solid and sometimes I have open availability. It really does depend. So if you reach out by email and you haven't heard from me within like 24 hours, email me again. It may have gone to spam. Okay, so that's really important. Typically, we don't have that be an issue, but it has happened on occasion. So if you don't hear from me within like 24 hours, shoot me a message some other way or email me a second time. That's the best way to contact me. So I don't have a website. What I do when I book a personal is you email me. We discuss what type of reading you want. I offer 2 types. We have tarot, we have the basic, and we have the in-depth reading. So in-depth is going to be at least 24 cards or more. I use multiple decks in an in-depth reading. Typically, I pull out 4 or 5 decks for an in-depth reading. Those ones are more expensive. They take a little bit more time, but they are all done in a video format. So you get a video of your reading. They're not done live one-on-one unless we're in a live stream. Okay, so that's the difference. And you get a private link sent to your email, and that is what you're paying for, is the private reading. Okay, so for a basic reading, it's 12 cards. Sometimes they're only 10 or 15 minutes long. It's pretty quick, to the point. A more in-depth one, you're looking at about a half an hour, maybe a little bit longer. It just depends. If you have real specific questions that you want me to try and answer in a tarot spread, include those in your email and let me know. Hey, I really want to know about this love situation. Hey, I'm curious about career. Hey, I'm curious about this. Include that. The more specific you are, the easier it is for me to be able to give you a clear answer. So you're going to see some of that tonight as we work with the collective, with anybody who wants some cards. So there is a difference between tarot and mediumship. Now, granted, you guys don't see me do a lot of mediumship over here. That's another thing that's going to change. So we do a lot of that over on TikTok. Over here, we don't always have a lot of people that hang out during the live. And so I'm hoping to really change that. I really want to get to know my collective over here. Some of you I know by your screen name immediately, like my regulars that comment on stuff. And I love that. That makes me feel like we're connected. And that's my hope. So anytime that I do a reading, no matter whether it's tarot or mediumship, my goal is always to give you information to either help you like make a decision somewhere, help you heal, give you some knowledge and insight of things that are keeping you stuck so you can make choices in your life that benefit you. Okay, that's always my goal, no matter what kind of reading that I do, collective, personal, whatever. The other thing with mediumship is I like to do what I call a cold reading. And so I'm going to explain kind of what that is and how that works. So mediumship is something that is a skill set that not all tarot readers possess, okay? And so it is a little bit different. I didn't know that I was a medium for a really long time. It took me a very long time to realize that, like, the psychic dreams and things that I had were actually, some of them were premonitions. Some of it I was actually like communicating with spirits and I didn't realize it. I was 40 before I had like my big spiritual awakening. And so I write about that in my book, Stepping Stones to Destiny. If you guys are ever curious about where I came from, how I do all this stuff, I did document it in my book, Stepping Stones to Destiny. It's about my spiritual journey and how all this kind of came about. So mediumship, what it is I'm channeling information. If you've been around a while on the channel, you're going to see that when I pull tarot as well. So I kind of look like I'm off in a daze or I'm daydreaming. You'll see that I don't make eye contact with the camera. Now, if I show you in my office, you guys are used to seeing this version of it, right? The little bookcase and everything back there. But this side, I have a window right in front of my desk. So here's the desk right there. So when I channel, it's super helpful for me to just be able to look outside at the sky. And so you'll see that I channel a lot when I read tarot, and you guys will see that in collective readings. You'll see it in all sorts of different spreads that I do. So this is something that I've done since I was a child. I just didn't know how to like turn it on or turn it off until I was much, much older. So I've done a lot of things over the years in order to fine tune those skills. So mediumship, back to the topic at hand. I do tend to ramble sometimes, so I apologize, but it's just who I am. So anyways, hi, Natalie. Good to see you. So mediumship, a cold reading is There's only one thing that I need from you to start a reading, and that's your first name. Now, if you book this without being in a live, you're going to email me and you're going to tell me that you want a mediumship session, okay? Mediumship reading, whatever. So I don't want to know anything else from you besides your first name. I need your email to send you the link to your video, and then your payment, and that's your reservation. Those three things. Short of that, I do all the rest of the work. I don't need you present to channel for you. I just need your first name, and that helps me to connect to your energy. I know there's a lot of people out there that it's like they need all this information to be able to pull energy for you. I don't work that way. I honestly prefer to work in an environment where there's zero distractions, no influence from the outside world on the person that I'm pulling information for. That way, you and I both know that anything that I pull forward came from spirit. There's no way I could have looked you up. There's no way I could have known any of this stuff. And they give me something called a validation point, typically in every reading. So to me, the information may not make sense. It might not be anything that I think is relevant, but it typically will allow the person to know that the information came from spirit, passed on loved ones, your spirit team, angels, God, source, spirit, the universe, all of that kind of goes hand in hand. So that's one of the things we're going to also start doing over here. Tonight, we're going to focus on tarot. The next time we go live, we're going to be doing mediumship stuff. And yes, we're going to be doing free ones for my lovely subscribers. Okay. So I want you guys to remember that the next time we go live, we'll do tarot too if anybody wants tarot, but we're going to focus on mediumship the next time we go live. So that would be probably next weekend. Okay. And I will announce the date and the time that I go live in advance so that we can hopefully get you guys to come join us and hang out. Is the lighting getting crummy in here? Because it's starting to get a little dark here. If it gets too dark, you guys let me know and I'll pull my light out. But anyways, so mediumship, super important for me that you guys don't give me any background information. I understand that anytime someone contacts me for mediumship, there's somebody that's passed away. I know that. Okay. The other thing is, if you give me information like my dad passed away, he had cancer, he died on this day, his birthday. Well, you've already spoon-fed me a ton of information that I never asked you for, and that clouds my judgment. So I would prefer that you just contact me and say, hi, my name is Susie Q, and I'm interested in a mediumship reading. Perfect. Awesome. Let's get it rolling. Okay. That's literally it. That's all I need from you. When the reading is done for mediumship, I take notes, handwritten notes in a notebook, and I keep the original, but you get a photocopy sent to your email. Typically, I get about 4 or so pages worth of notes, so it is quite a bit of information. I go over all the information that I receive in the video, and again, you get a copy of that sent with your private link to your email. And that is how we do mediumship over here. So I would be happy to answer any questions you guys have about either of the two services that I offer. Again, another thing that I'm going to include, it'll probably be like $10 or something, is charm readings. So about mid-August, I'm supposed to get my charms that I ordered. I ordered 200 of them. So I'm hoping there's a good mix of stuff in there. And I made charm casting mats. So they're all different. Some are for love, some are for like mediumship stuff, some are just random stuff that's on there. So you're going to start to see those. I'm going to do those for the collective as well. Like, I don't know, maybe a couple of times a week. We'll see if you guys like them. If you guys like them, make sure you comment and I'll start doing more of them. Again, we're going to include some of those in the live, and I'm going to make those available for personals. Maybe you want to add it to a tarot reading. Maybe you want to just do it on its own. It's going to be like an a la carte menu, so you guys can just mix and match what you want to get. I don't have it listed that way, but you guys could book like an in-depth reading. You guys could book mediumship, and you could book a charm reading all at once if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. So when you reach out through email to book with me, you just tell me what type of reading you want. If you're like, hey, I want a basic tarot reading, but I want you to focus on love. Got you. No worries. If you're like, hey, can you throw a charm reading in with that? Can you focus on love? 100%. And I'm going to show you what I've created. So give me 1 second. Let me grab them. So I've been working on these. Uh-oh, did I freeze? There we go. So I've been working on these. Now, All of these are a little bit different. So like this one would focus on love. So it's got little different things on that one. This one's got a ton of different stuff on there. So this would be like a general one because we've got a ton of different things on it. Let's see, what was this one? This one is more like spiritual based. It's got a whole bunch of different things on it having to do with like choices and things. Let's see. This one is like messages from spirit, a bunch of different stuff on there. This one, I don't know. This is the mediumship one. So like different signs that spirit could be sending you or showing you. And then this one has to do with like different elements, zodiacs, and the houses. So like different things that could be being affected. So those are some of the ones that we're going to start to use. I made all of these. I looked up some ideas online and then I created my own because I'm a cheap bitch and I don't care. I couldn't stand spending like $30 on one of those things. I was like, I'll just make my own. It's fine. I don't care. So those are some things that we're going to include. And then if I decide later that I'm going to buy one or whatever, then I'll include that too. So those are some of the announcements that are coming up for the channel over here. I am thinking that come probably the 1st of September, I'm going to say goodbye to TikTok permanently. I've been over there for about 4 years now, trying to build a channel, trying to build a following, things like that. And what's crazy is there's a lot of people that will like subscribe to your content and then they never interact again, which I find so strange. Some people will only come to the live streams and never interact with the video. And then we have the opposite of that where they only interact with videos and they never come to a live. So it's a really like, one side to the coin, I guess. But I want to start changing things to where, again, we're more geared towards adult content. Not that it's like nudies or anything like that. They don't pay me for that stuff. But I just want to be able to interact with people that, understand what we're over here trying to do. And so this started out as a hobby for me. And I guess it's been 5 years now. God, that's so crazy. So in the scope of 5 years, I've managed to gain around almost 8,000 followers, like 6,300 something over on TikTok. And then we're almost at like 1,300 or something over here. We're real close to that. So we're working on it. But my other goal for this channel is to get it monetized. And there's a reason for that. One, I always said that if I could get one of the channels monetized to where I'm getting paid to post content, I probably would stop charging for readings. I would focus more on like, fun stuff instead of just it feeling like boring. And so that's kind of another goal of mine. So it's hit or miss. Like some days I check it and it's almost halfway there. And then what happens is you have like a year to post enough content that gets 4,000 watch hours. It's a lot in order to monetize on YouTube. Okay. And so even though I've had a YouTube channel for the last like 4.5 years, the problem is that stuff that maybe got like 3,000 or 4,000 views, if it's like a year old, it falls off and it doesn't count anymore. So you have to acquire the 4,000 watch hours in 365 days to get monetized. And I haven't been able to do that. So some of my stuff is getting traction again, which is freaking awesome. And I'm stoked about that because that starts to count towards the watch hours again. So fingers crossed. I hope that it works out because I would love to just be able to spend a ton of time with you guys in lives and things like that and to not have to charge people to survive in the world. Okay. And so that's the goal with getting monetized, because then it's not you guys that are paying me. It's ads and sponsorship and things like that. It's the videos themselves that are paying the bills. And so that's the goal. So we're not there yet, but I do hope that it happens at some point. So in the meantime, business as usual. We just keep posting. We do lives. We interact. We do all those things. So those are some changes that are going to be made. Now, if you are a subscriber over here and you also follow me on TikTok, as of September 1st, I am deleting my TikTok account. They're making a lot of changes over there that I'm just uncomfortable with. And I'm not growing over there. And so I don't feel like it's worth the investment any longer. I've met a lot of cool people. I've engaged with a lot of people through lives, through videos, all those things. But I need to like let something go. And since TikTok's really not growing at all and it's becoming more and more strict and less fun, I'm going to let that one go. YouTube, we don't ever really seem to have any problems, which I'm super grateful for. I love the guys and gals over here that actually engage with the content, people that comment, people that email me about stuff, book readings, all those things. Thank you. Appreciate all of you. And to all of you new people that have joined us recently, please stay. We would love to have you. I personally would love to engage with you in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through video, a live, a personal, however. All right, enough yapping. Geez, lady, she just doesn't shut up sometimes. So let's get into some readings. So everybody that's in the chat is a subscriber. So all of the lives going forward over here are going to be subscriber only. So you're the only ones who can chat. I have it set to 1 minute time frame that you can watch for a minute and then you have to subscribe or it kicks you out. So we're going to pull some free cards for you guys, about 4 free cards. If you have any questions that you want me to try and answer, let me know, whether it's about tarot mediumship or otherwise, whatever it happens to be about, let me know. And let's do some readings. So who wants to do the first one? While we have you guys comment who wants a reading, put your first name in the chat. That way I know how to address you if I've never seen you before or whatever. And I'm going to grab my lamp so you guys can actually see me because it's about to get dark in here. And hopefully that's not like crazy bright. Is that better? Can see me a little bit more? It's so funny because like I had the shade open and everything so I could see outside, but now the sun's starting to go down. So it's like, well, yeah, that's not going to work full time. So, all right. So we have Gisela, Birdie, Natalie, anybody else that's in here? Okay, looks like just a handful of you guys. That's always awesome too, because then that means everybody's going to get a reading and we know that. So, is there any type of content that I already put up that you guys really, really like, that you're like, hey, please keep putting those up? Because we've changed a lot of things around here and I don't want to like take something off the channel permanently that somebody was like, I really enjoyed that. Can you please put that back? So I took a bit of a pause for the summer, right? Because I just didn't want to work a bunch. So I recorded a bunch of videos for you guys in advance. And then I played hooky. I messed around in my garden. I played with the dogs. I kind of slept in. I didn't care. I was like, it's fine. There's content up. I don't have to be present. So I did that. So we're going to get back into the swing of things here within the next week in August. So we're going to have more of like a set routine. Let's see. So right now we're going to have like the weekly. You guys really seem to like the individual messages, even though they were shorter format. So I think I like that idea. I think we're going to do that because the shorts over here have gone from 15 seconds to a minute to 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes now in a short. I can read a lot of cards in 3 minutes. So I feel like for your week ahead, because your week ahead's only for 7 days, I think we're going to keep those in the shorts on a Monday. Do you guys like them better first thing in the morning, or do you guys like to watch them in the evenings when you get home from work or school? Let me know. I would love to know, because that part I can play around because I record everything in advance and then I set it to play at certain days and certain times. So you let me know. Tell me, what do you guys like to see? Weekly horoscope, okay, angelic light. It's my ring light. This guy right here, it helps a lot, especially at night when I'm trying to do cards and stuff. So we like the weekly horoscope, like all your videos, to be honest. Always look forward to them every day. Thank you so much, Miss Natalie. Love that. Brittany says, I like the weekly and the horoscope. Shadow work is always a good one to watch. Okay, awesome. And I'm in Australia, so I get them a day later. Okay, so you're behind us because you're a day ahead of us then. Okay, because here it is the 25th and it's currently 8:02 p.m. my time right now. So people watch me from all over the place. Every once in a while, I look at my analytics just to see like, where are my viewers finding me or how are they watching me? Blown away sometimes with where people are watching me. It's like, That just blows my mind that, people can see me all over the place. Usually watch them in the morning. That's usually when you post. Okay. So, I think, even the live streams, like you can watch it on replay and things like that. So I played with some stuff this summer. Some of them were in the morning around 9 or so in the morning. And then others of them were like at 6 a.m., the daily card. I was posting those at like 6 a.m. And my thought with that was if people are getting up, getting ready, maybe they watch me on their TV. Like we have Roku, so we watch things like YouTube and Netflix and stuff on our TV. So you can just play it real quick or on your phone as you're getting ready to walk out the door, things like that. So I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want the weekly lineup to look like. So I want the feedback to know what you guys are interested in watching, because why post it if nobody's curious to watch it? It's just silly. So let's see. Watch in the morning. Okay. Currently 12 p.m. Saturday. Gosh. Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out with us, because it is definitely later over there. Okay. So what about the daily card? Did we like the daily card with the music and then usually a single card? Sometimes it was a couple of cards, just to know what the energy is going to be for that day. Do we like those messages, or is that it's lame? We don't care. And either way is fine. I just want to know what you guys are curious about. Let's see, what else? Love messages. That's another one. Love messages. I typically try and post a singles reading because, let's face it, singles, sometimes you want to stay single and other times you're really looking for love. And so I try and post a singles reading weekly just because stuff can change. Maybe you decided to go out with your girlfriends, your guy friends, and you met somebody and you want to know if it's going to go anywhere, things like that. Maybe you haven't been dating and you're looking to get back out there and try and meet new people. So I do try and post a singles reading weekly. Sometimes we post like couples and separation. So that's, you could be separated due to work and circumstances. Maybe your significant other's in the military and they're deployed. Maybe they're a longshoreman and they're, on a rig somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe you're living separate for other reasons, whatever. I try and post one of those so you guys have some idea of what's maybe happening. It also overlaps in the twin flame journey because there is a big gap of separation for the twin flame collective. And so I try and include that as well. The other one we post is soulmates and twin flames or couples readings, just to kind of see what's happening. Sometimes you're going through a dry spell. Sometimes you're going through, a lot of upheaval in your relationship. So I try and include all of those. But I'm open to new readings as well. So if there's something you guys are really just like, oh, I wish you would do this, please comment. Let me know. I'm always open to new readings. I even created a reading that was brand new. What was it, like a week or so ago? I think I already posted it over here. I think I called it like, what's the side piece up to? So I have a sense of humor. You guys will start to see more of that the more that, we go live and interact and all of that stuff. I love to laugh. I'm a goofball. I really like things that are genuinely funny, that make you actually laugh out loud where you can't hold it back. It's not like, oh, yeah, that was funny. No, I love stuff that it's just like goofy animal videos and stuff like that. I tend to watch those last thing at night, or just silly stuff. I really do enjoy laughing. So I try and include some of that in stuff, especially the weekend message on Fridays. That's another one that, I pull out the Rebel deck that has curse words and things like that because I like to laugh. So if I trip over my own words, if I'm laughing at myself, I hope that it gives you guys a laugh too. That's why I don't edit them out. That's why I keep them in there, because I'm just trying to be authentic over here. No makeup, see, none whatsoever. It's just me. So this is how I roll most of the time around my own house. I almost hardly ever wear makeup and stuff anymore. I do every once in a while for you guys just to look a little bit more improved, but this is just me. I'm to the point now where I don't really care if you don't like me because I don't have crazy hair and my makeup done. Don't care. Watch somebody else. It's not up for discussion. It's like I'm just gonna do me at this point. So anyways, okay, let's see. So love readings, spiritual guidance. I post those from time to time as well. I did this last week, like messages from the dragons, your angels, the keepers of the light, ancestors, spirit guides, whatever. So those are some ones that we do. So I do spiritual guidance readings as well. Any of the readings that I post, you guys can also book for a personal, just so you know. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I love that deck that she used, shoot me an email. Say, hey, this video, you can include it or whatever if you don't know what the deck is called. I do try and like, this one's called Harsh Truths. So if you see it in a video and you're like, hey, I really want a reading with that, can you include that? Yes. No additional charge. Yes, we can just include it. Simple as that. I don't understand the types of readers that I've seen that are like, oh my gosh, I charge you for every extra card. That's crazy to me. No, you're paying for a reading. Whatever reading you happen to book with me, we include what's included with that. So again, the $25 one is 12 cards. And then the in-depth, we include way more than that. So it's usually at least double, if not more. Okay, so let's see. So Instagram is great for dog videos. You know, I had Instagram years ago, and same thing, like I didn't like it as much because I kept getting a lot of it was like celebrity impersonator accounts, spam accounts basically, that were scammers, and like they just were relentless. And so I was like, I gotta go. I can't be over here. Although I did enjoy watching some of the videos and things like that. I never really, same thing. I never really built up like a following or anything over there. So I was like, I'm good. I just don't want to. I've had better luck over here on YouTube actually building a community than I have on any of the other stuff that I tried. I had Facebook years ago. I don't have Facebook at all anymore. I had it to keep in touch with like friends and family that lived all over the place and to just kind of, see what everybody was up to. And you know what I found? I found that my friends and family that I thought I was super tight with, they really just talked shit behind my back about what I was doing. So I said, I'm done. And I deleted it and I never looked back. So I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. I soon will not be on TikTok, and YouTube will be the only platform that you'll probably find me on. And I'm okay with that because that way I can really like pour my energy into what I want to grow as opposed to spreading myself too thin, I didn't get to go ghost hunting this summer like I really wanted to. I had high hopes that I was going to go to like all these places. It didn't happen. It's whatever. We still have good weather up until usually like the end of October or the first half of November. I need new tires on my truck really bad, so I haven't been going anywhere because I'm worried I'm going to have a blowout. So we've been behind in bills trying to catch up on stuff like that because, hey, guess what? I'm human just like you guys. And so as soon as I get some new tires, then I probably am going to go ghost hunting before we get like really bad snow. And so you might see some spooky content closer to October. It's fine, whatever. There is a place that I want to go that's here in the state. I want to say it's like a 3-hour drive for me. So it is a ways. But there was this crazy thing that happened. I want to say it's called Ludlow. Ludlow, Ludlow. And I'd have to look up the specifics of it again. But there was like this crazy stuff that happened down there. So it was a mining town, I think. And they had like a general store, like a hospital kind of set up down there. And so the people that worked at the mine lived on site in little houses with their families. And they basically gave them like these tickets that they could only buy food and things like that from the store that the company owned. And so as a result, they could kind of jack the prices up. So these people were working for peanuts. It was really unsafe conditions. So they went on strike. And because they went on strike, the owners of the mine decided they were going to pull a swift one on them. And they started like, they torched the whole town, I think. They burnt their homes to the ground. So they were living in tents in the middle of winter. Anybody that's ever been in Colorado in the winter knows that we can get really, really cold weather. And especially in like the mountains and stuff, it can be brutal. And so these people had no place to go. They didn't have a way out because they were brought there by trains. They didn't have vehicles and stuff like that way back when, because this would have happened, I want to say like the early 1900s or late 1800s. It's been a long time. So anyway, long story short, a lot of these people were killed. by the company that they worked for because they went on strike for unsafe working conditions. So I'm like, there's gotta be some freaking energy there. You know what I mean? And so I told my boyfriend, I was like, would you ever go down there to do ghost hunting with me and see if we pick anything up? And I was like, I guarantee you we'd pick something up. He's like, yeah, I'd consider doing that. So he's been super busy with work. I've been super busy doing other stuff around here. And so that's one of the things that I want to do. There was another thing that is a guided ghost tour that happens in downtown Colorado Springs that it's like an hour-long walking tour, and they take you into these like several places that are rumored to be haunted. You can take your equipment and everything and get readings of like EMF and all that stuff. And so that's another one. Same thing. I've been just extremely busy and haven't had the time to like set that up to do it. So there's a couple of things that I want to do. It's just, can I find the time to be able to do it? So that's another thing that's on the agenda. We'll get there eventually. So spiritual guidance messages are always a winner. Love that. So shadow work. One of you said shadow work is one that you like. The reason I post shadow work on the channel is depending on where you are on your life soul journey, there's things that we could be struggling with, right? And so shadow work is really just a tool for you to kind of take stock of what's going on in your life and decide, are you ready to work through that obstacle? Have you learned the lesson yet in those situations or circumstances? And are you ready to master it so that we can move forward to the next level? And so that's the purpose of shadow work. It's to help us uncover things that are keeping us stuck, holding us back. And that can be anywhere in life. It doesn't have to just be in relationships. It could be with work. Maybe, you want to change jobs and you're nervous to do so. Maybe you want shadow work to see if there's something better out there for you, things like that. Maybe it's in relationships. Maybe you've struggled like I have with parental relationships, right? I don't really have a relationship with my dad anymore. So that's something that I worked through in shadow work to let go of those things, harboring resentments and yada, yada, all those things. So whatever you happen to be going through, if the shadow work reading resonates with your situation, sit with those feelings and emotions, journal about them, think about how you can maybe come up with solutions to move forward and let go of what is holding you back, wherever that happens to resonate. So that's kind of the premise of shadow work. Not everybody's into working through their stuff. That's fine. If it's not for you, it's not for you. So I do try and post a lot of different stuff on the channel so that maybe you find something that you really enjoy. The other thing is the podcast. Okay, so when I started the podcast in February, it was going to be all about like being a black sheep, all about, kind of being the chosen ones or the ones who really struggled, the outcasts in family, society, whatever. We're still kind of focused on that, but I've shifted gears with that to make it a little bit bigger of a scope of things instead of so narrow of a topic. And the premise is really about like sharing knowledge, and so that we can break cycles, so that we can, transform and basically live our best life. And so I decided, since I was having all these issues with copyrights for names and stuff like that, because I was going to print merch for the channel, which I did. I printed merch. So it is in my Linktree. If you guys have never seen it, any of the t-shirts and hoodies that I printed, click the link that's pinned at the top of the thing, and it's going to show you all that stuff. It's also at the top of the page here on YouTube. So if you click that, it's going to have a bunch of different stuff in there. So just click it and see what's inside. But anyways, so I haven't been posting a lot of the podcast over the summer because, again, I took a break just to kind of have some downtime and to rest. Because sometimes I feel like I'm doing so much that I don't really get to enjoy any of what I'm working and doing. And so I take a little bit of a break every once in a while just so that I can kind of regroup and get my head screwed back on straight so I don't feel so crazy all the time. So we will start having some podcast episodes in August. I think I have a topic that I'm going to be working on. So I don't know when in August I'm going to upload the next episode of the podcast, but they air at 6 p.m. on Sunday evening. So when there's a new one, that's when they air. So it's got its own dedicated playlist. You just click that. There's like 21 episodes up already. So if you've never seen an episode of the podcast, there's a ton of different topics. Go check those out. See if there's anything you really like. The last one that I did, I know ruffled some feathers for people. And that was the point. It was Jesus a witch? So if you watched that, you will know that no, I didn't say that Jesus was a witch, but that was enough to hook people to be curious or anger them so that they would be curious enough to watch it. So rage bait, I think they call that, just to make you question things in life, right? Because we've been spoon fed a lot of garbage for most of our life. And so I would like to give you facts and truth and let you decide what you believe. We did an episode about aliens, different alien life forms and entities. So we talk about Anunnaki, we talk about Sumerians, we talk about the reptilian race, all that in there. So if you're curious, check that one out. But there's a ton of different topics in there, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. It's a lot of work. It takes me like 6 hours to do a single episode because I research it and then I decide what I'm going to show in there. And I figured out how to splice stuff together so I can show you like little pictures of things or, stuff like that, little icons and all that stuff. So I'm learning as I go. So nothing is perfect over here, and it's not supposed to be. It's just supposed to be good enough. And I'm learning to embrace that everything can just be good enough, and that's okay, because I have Virgo placements, and if you know a Virgo, they're perfectionists, right? So we're learning to let go of the perfectionism, and we're learning to just embrace who we are and roll with it anyway. So those are some changes that are going to be going on over here in the next however long it takes to figure it out. So I promise I'm done yapping. Let's get some cards read for you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. So who wants to go first? Who wants some free cards? We have a few of you hanging out. So just drop your first name. If you have anything specific you want for your reading, let me know. If I don't have it on the desk, I'll grab it. It's behind me here in the office. So general tarot readings, love, spiritual guidance, shadow work. If you guys have anything specific, like any of the decks that you've seen me use and you're like, I've seen it, but I don't know what the name is, give me like a general synopsis of what you think it is, and I'll figure out what it is. So we have harsh truths, which is exactly what it says. It's harsh truths that you need to hear. Who's thinking of you? It's got the alphabet, zodiac signs, physical characteristics, personality traits. Don't ignore the signs. Exactly that. Signs that you shouldn't ignore. SSS, or sign symbol synchronicity, is sign symbols and synchronicities. Let's see what else. We've got twin flame messages, messages from the divine masculine or the DM, and divine masculine, divine feminine. Let's see what else do we have over there. I can't remember. We've created a lot of them. Soundtrack of our life. So that one's all the songs. You saw that in the dailies. Let's see. How's life treating you? Different events that could be going on. Infinite love is like messages from your higher self or the person on your mind. And I can't remember what else is over there. Oh, timing. And I think that's it. So if I missed something and there's something you guys really, really want, let me know. Okay, so we have, let's see. Birdie wants love. Let's do love. Natalie wants love. And Birdie, I feel like I always say your name wrong. Is it Bridie, or Birdie? Do one if it's Bridie. Because I feel like I'm always botching your name, and I apologize. I don't know why it always looks like Birdie to me. Bridie. Okay. All right. We'll see if I can remember that. Oh, gosh. I'm just terrible at names. I always have been. Like, I remember when I first met Gisela on the channel, I was like, how in the world do I say your name? And she's like, I don't know. I laughed so hard. I was like, okay, so I'm going to Google it and figure out how to pronounce your name, because I just felt terrible. I was like, I cannot do that and botch your name. Like wedding, Bridie. Okay, Bridie. Got it. Okay. That's much better. Because I don't want to mispronounce your name. That would hurt my feelings if somebody was constant. I mean, it's happened. People have done that to me, but I'm always like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. So bridey. Yay. Okay, we got it. All right. You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. Maybe we should read these another time. No, I'm kidding. All right. So you need to let spirit guide this next connection that's coming in. The reason being, you have a soulmate that's going to try and come into your life. Not try, they're going to come in. But I do feel like you need to release control here, because if you don't, I feel like it could delay things. And I do think you're going to marry this person. So while you might not even be dating right now, I feel like some things are going to change. So let's see what else we've got for love for you. There's only a couple of you in here tonight, so we're just going to do like good readings instead of crummy little short ones, because there's only a handful of you guys in here. You get it all the time. I bet you do too, because it's like, if it's something, and what's funny is I know you're in Australia, and I always hear like somebody with an Australian accent probably saying your name in my head as I read it. But for whatever reason, I can't get my mouth to work sometimes. So Bridey, we got it. Okay, where'd that one go? Ooh. You're about to get some clarity. So somebody could be like revealing their feelings about you or to you, their feelings that they have to you. I feel like there could be somebody that maybe you either haven't met this person yet, or you've only known them in passing, like an acquaintance. And you're both going through some sort of metamorphosis or transformation. So you're going into this new chapter in your life, this new phase. And I feel like because of the transformation, that's what kind of sets you up to meet this person. Love that. What else does she need to know? Yeah, they're going to express how they feel. So they could physically call you, text you, email you. They're going to communicate this, because you also have the sword and the rose, which is about the clarity. So they're going to express this to you. We're going to pull timing for this too. I do feel like in the past you've struggled with maybe feeling like you weren't enough in a connection. And so you're overcoming those obstacles. Let's see if I can get the camera angle right here. And you are going to be welcoming in some unconditional love. So remember that it starts with self-love. And that's what's going to help attract this future spouse. I love that. Where is my timing deck? Let me grab that. One second. Okay, so I want to get some good shuffles, because I did use this the other day. When is her wedding stuff coming in? This true love, this soulmate. When is okay. Stop obsessing and let it go. Okay. Why? Why do we need to stop obsessing? Because that's controlling, right? We need to stop obsessing and allow these things to actually happen when they're meant to happen. Why? Miracles and divine intervention are occurring, right? So if we release the control and we allow spirit to take the lead, doors start to open for you and things start to happen exactly how they're meant to. Divine timing, it's up to God when it happens. Again, why they're asking you to release the control. Proceed with caution. We're in a retrograde of like 4 planets right now. So Mercury, Uranus, Pluto, and Saturn, I think, are all retrograde. They'll slowly all kind of come out of retrograde. I want to say Saturn's lasts a little while because it's a real slow moving outer planet. Mercury, I think we go direct around the 18th of August. So it's going to take a little bit of time. But don't take any X's back, because you have somebody so much better trying to come in. And holidays could be significant for when you meet this person. Any holiday that you happen to celebrate. I just have a bunch of random ones listed on there. One more for when she's going to meet this soulmate. Things have been delayed, but it's not a denial. So just because something's delayed doesn't mean it's not coming in. It just means that things aren't ready yet, right? It's like if you're baking a cake in the oven. Okay, the temperature has to be right. The ingredient proportions have to be right. And then you've got to be patient, because if you rush it, it's a pile of goo and it's no good. So you have to wait for your cake to bake for this person to come in. But Spirit's going to tell you when it's time to take action. So you could be seeing the number 555. So deepen your spiritual practices and know that changes are on the way. So it's going to happen in divine timing for you when this new person comes in. It will be worth your time. So try not to rush it. Just have it in the back of your mind and be excited. Like, ooh, I wonder when I'm going to meet them. So, would you like me to pull some of who's thinking about you so we can see maybe like what they're like going forward? Because we're going to. Can I answer health questions? I sure can try. I will always tell you that since I'm like not a medical professional, if anything comes up for me for you, I'm going to tell you to go follow that up with a licensed practitioner of some sort so that you can get like labs if you happen to need labs, things like that. What I do for those is typically a body scan. And so I don't really pull tarot for that. What I would do is I would kind of sit and meditate for a second and see if anything in your body shows up to me. So if you've ever seen an X-ray where it's like really bright white against black, typically, that's what it kind of looks to me when I do one of those health readings or body scans. And so if something is glowing to me, because that's typically how it shows up, I will let you know the area that I see, and then you need to follow up with an actual doctor because I'm not one. And so I wouldn't be able to give you any advice of like how to treat it or anything like that. But yes, we can absolutely do that for you. All right, so let's see. Bridie's going to be a bride. So let's see, what does the future hubby look like? Okay, so they could have the letter I in their name. They might be kind of loud, outspoken in the life of the party. Sometimes I see that with like fire sign energy, so Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, but it could be anybody. Let's see if we can get some specifics. One of you might be a little bit shy, quiet, or a deep thinker, maybe a little introverted. I do feel like opposites here. And what's the old saying? Opposites attract. I don't know why. When I use my laptop, I can't figure out where the heck the camera screen is at. I'm used to using my phone all the time. All right. What does her future hubby look like? All right. So he's sober, no alcohol, sober life, lives a pretty healthy lifestyle. He might play video games of some kind. He procrastinates on some things. He can be a little unmotivated, and he is a big dreamer. One of you might have kids, or maybe you want kids together. Husband, there's some confirmation for you. We have I and A coming out. Somebody loves the beach. I love the beach. I want to go to the beach. What else? What does her future husband look like? Could have some yellow in the eyes. That's interesting. Could be a Gemini or an air sign. Could have placements. Might have some straight hair. Could have some green and yellow in the eyes. So maybe like kind of hazily eyes. I feel like this person could have like little flecks of yellow in their eyes as well. They might have some red hair. Extrovert, outspoken, driven, and ambitious. Loud, outspoken, life of the party. Come on, camera. So I do feel like this person will be kind of adventurous. I feel like this person will be not afraid to take risks is another one that's coming up. What else? Drives a truck, non-smoker, they don't drink, hiker, likes the outdoors, and loves to sing. So the letters I and A could be in their name as well. I and A could be initials, A-I-I-A, however that happens to work out. So I do feel like you're going to meet them in divine timing, right? Because we have the miracle and divine timing card. Let's see if there's any signs for you to look out for. When you meet this person, let's see. We got to let go of the fear, right? False emotions appearing real. The ego's in control. We want to be heart focused, so our intuition will guide us. What else? And you get to enjoy the sweeter things in life. The lollipop. What else? Ooh, I do feel like you're going to be working through some things, right? So you might need some inner work. You could be struggling emotionally, and you need some time alone. And again, what was I saying? This person might know of you. Okay, spying eyes, monitoring spirits, spying, and gossip. So I feel like that's a weird one. I feel like flies could be something that all of a sudden you see a bunch of flies around. And I feel like that's kind of the monitoring spirits, like this person might have you on their mind. One more. Committed. Confirmation. So next level love and a promise of forever. And that's what's coming in. Feel like they could be watching, trying to figure out if you're single, unattached, things like that. Is there a significant other in their life that they're going to have to compete for? So this fear component, right? Needing to work on some things. Maybe in the past you felt like you weren't enough or they did, things like that. So overcoming those obstacles, and that's why it's been delayed. Once those obstacles are overcome and we've learned to love ourselves a little bit more, I feel like doors will start to open for you. Ooh, you'll have to let me know when you meet him. Always can shoot me an email and let me know. Okay, so that was for Birdie, Bridie. There we go, Bridie. See, I'm telling you, it's the freaking mouth. Just can't get it together. All right. So Bridie, there we go. Bridie, like a bride, right? And you had the wedding card and the committed card. Ha ha, funny. You are so welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right. Who else wanted, I think, was it Natalie that wanted love? Or was it Gisela? I think Gisela wanted the health question. If Natalie's still here. If not, we'll go to Gisela. Natalie is still here. Okie dokie. So love for you as well. Let's see what's happening. Maybe if my fingers will shuffle. So see, I think lives are a little bit more fun because we can actually talk to each other, kind of sort of in a roundabout way. The YouTube also does have a feature called Go Live Together. So like if we were going to do one where I knew a select group of you guys were going to join, there's like a link that I would send to you. And you click on the link and we can both be live together. So that's something we could do in the future if you guys wanted to do that. I'm just learning about all these new features that they have over here. So we'll see what happens. I might try that for a podcast episode. Like if I ever have a guest, I feel like I've invited a ton of people and nobody's taken me up on it. So you just see me. How exciting. Okay. So you, my dear, are trying to overcome a repetitive cycle, okay? Something that you're really, really working on, but I do feel like it's something that has been around for a while. So things like self-sabotage, ego, fear issues, things like that, we're working on releasing those things. When you do, I feel like you're going towards a lot of happiness. So the paradise card for me, I read a couple of ways. One, it can be a love relationship that feels like paradise. You could also be traveling or live in a place that looks like paradise, like beaches and palm trees, things like that. So this is about getting to enjoy yourself with another person. And the camera. So we could be reminiscing about the past, especially because we're in Mercury in retrograde. So if you have certain keepsakes from a certain someone, like an old relationship, maybe somebody that's no longer here, I feel like Spirit's trying to encourage you to learn from anything from the past and to make some new memories and go forward. And you could be meeting somebody new as well. The coffee cup tells us that we are meeting and conversing more. So someone might invite you out for coffee, things like that. Savoring the moment. And that's the key to that one, right? Living in the moment. You could meet somebody while you're out with friends. You could just go be getting a morning cup of coffee and bump into somebody and it goes somewhere. So let's get a little bit more information. Trying to jump off the desk. All right. So children could be a factor. If you don't have children yet, maybe you're thinking about you want some. Maybe you don't want kids at all. That's okay too. But this card is about making love a priority instead of a chore, right? So I did a reading. I don't know if it's played yet. I've done so many readings in the last week. I don't know if that one's aired yet, but I did one that was talking about how if you want to find love, you've got to make time for it, right? You can't just go to work all the time, come home and never leave your house. And you have a lot less likely chance, not impossible, but less likely that you're going to meet somebody that way. So you have to be able to carve it into your schedule, right? Maybe you meet somebody and it's like, okay, Wednesday night is date night every week. And you prioritize going and spending time with that person. You don't always have to go out. Maybe you have a movie and pizza night at home. Maybe one night you decide you're going to go out dancing. I don't know. But can you prioritize it? Because I feel like no matter what's going on, whether work, school, kids, home, whatever, you have to make it a priority for it to actually work. So that's important. It does look like you're trying to either manifest or use things like law of attraction, law of assumption to bring in an actual soulmate. So that's interesting. Prayers, affirmations, visualizations help to bring you guys together. So keep a positive outlook and know that the right person will come into your life at the right time. Yep. True love, fairy tale type romance. This is the romance of a lifetime. That's an interesting card that doesn't come out all the time. So, you know, as kids, we probably all heard fairy tales and things like that. And so I feel like it's one of those things that maybe we get swept up in the fairy tales. But what we really need to focus on is it a good connection or is it not? So just because it might be fun and exciting, don't get carried away with something until you're sure about it. And same for you. You've got to let spirit guide you so that you can find the right connection. Okay, let's see. So we know we have someone coming in. This one, timing. Let's find some timing. All right. When is Natalie getting this soulmate that's true love and fairy tale type of romance? Ooh, at night things are changing, vivid dreams, astral travel, and insomnia. So you could be dreaming about this person. You might meet in the astral before you meet in the physical. That's actually happened to me. It's a weird experience, but it has happened. 3 weeks from now, you will have a new perspective on your situation. I also think that's almost when Mercury goes direct again, so about 3 weeks. Daytime could be significant for this meeting. When is she meeting this true love? Do it and go for what you want in life. I feel like there's something that could be holding you back. And so it's almost like a hurdle that you're going to have to overcome before this comes in. Yeah. You need a break. So make rest a priority because burnout is very real. So in the next 3 weeks, we do have some things that are starting to change. So let's find out who they are. All right. Who is the new person coming in for Natalie? Okay, we have somebody with a wide nose, social media creator. Interesting. Maybe you meet them also through like what they do, right? Maybe if they have like some sort of online presence or something, maybe they post about what they do for a living. One of you could be short, under 5 foot, beautiful smile, plays video games, could be blue collar, hard worker, drives a sports car. Someone has dimples in the chin. Letter J, small nose, rides a motorcycle. Wifey. Okay. We have Q, can't dance. It's funny that I said maybe you go out dancing. QYS, funny jokes, likes to laugh a lot, muscular build, Leo or a fire sign, has a cat, black hair, junk food junkie, curly or wavy hair, dimples in the cheeks. So dimples in the chin, dimples in the cheeks, curly or wavy hair, black hair, Leo or a fire sign, blue collar, might do something on social media, things like that. Interesting. All right, let's see. Any signs for you to pay attention to? Signs for Natalie to pay attention to. Ooh, I like that for you. So this card is really what goes around comes back around. So not that I feel like it's going to be an X or anything. It's more the energy that you're putting out there. So if it's always like really good energy, that's coming back to you like a boomerang, right? Like you throw that out there and eventually it returns to you. So I feel like if you've been paying your dues, maybe you had some really crummy relationships in your life, I feel like all the positive energy, all the good energy is going to come back to you in the form of a loved one. And melody, creating a pleasing sound, sing it out loud. Karaoke is coming to mind. I don't know why, but I literally feel like I see somebody standing at a microphone. They're telling me open mic night. So that would be like comedy and things as well. Karaoke, but I see a stage and a microphone. So you could be meeting somebody that way as well. Pay attention to any red flags. If something feels off, it's probably unlikely that it's your person. So stop and don't go forward if there's something off. And you're definitely going in a new direction. So movement, house, job, relationships, and entering a new phase. Maybe you guys end up living together. Maybe you guys solidify things rather quickly. Just make sure that it's the right timeline for you. I want one more of these. And fear. So fear could hold you back from where you want to be. Make sure that you are checking in with your higher self and your instincts and intuition. Let go of the fear. The fear holds back your manifestations from coming in. It means that the ego's in control. So if we're fearful, we have to replace that with love. And so an example of that would be if you're afraid to fall in love because you don't want to get hurt, you start by giving that love to yourself. You pour into yourself and then your cup is full. You have more than enough to go around. You're not worried so much about all the other stuff. So I do think that you also have new love that's coming in. Interesting. All right. Anybody else? Where is Gisela? She's still hanging out. We're going to see if we can figure out what's going on health-wise for her. Let me clean up my mess. You're so welcome. Thanks for being here, all of you guys. People are probably going to watch this back on repeat and go, what the heck? We've never seen her like that. Well, this is the real stuff. So we're not just posting videos. All right. Let's see. Is Gisela still with me? So we can try and answer some of your health questions and see what's going on there. Mainly legs have gotten worse lately. Okay. Let's see what I can find out for you. They're telling me that you've got some stuff going on with your back that is actually traveling into your legs. So this could be like nerve issues, things like sciatica come to mind. You could also have like a pinched nerve due to discs kind of moving around. That can create pain. I also get the sense that your legs have felt really heavy and really weak lately within like the last month or so. So, I feel like there's some back issues that are contributing to the legs. Let's see. I feel like there's been some swelling as well as some numbness in your lower legs, like around your ankles up to your knees, some swelling, tingling, stabbing pain sometimes, and it's not constant. It's like intermittent, like it comes and it goes. I feel like you're sometimes having difficulty walking, like the bottoms of your feet hurt a lot too. So let me see if Spirit will give me any sort of direction to point you in what to do to ask your doctor to check. So one of the things they're highlighting is blood sugar, okay? Whether it's too high or too low. They said get a blood panel drawn if you're able to and check your blood sugar. That could be contributing to the pain in the legs as well as swelling. There's also back problems. I feel like you're aware of some of them, but maybe not all of it. I feel like you could have a pinched nerve in your lower back that's contributing to pain kind of radiating down into your leg and into your feet. Let's see. That they're saying that there could be like chiropractic adjustments. There could also be things like acupuncture, physical therapy. If you're able to get in water, like a pool at all, that would also be helpful because it's going to take all the pressure off of your spine and alleviate that so that you can move a little bit freer. It's also going to help with any sort of swelling that you might be having in the lower body, upper body, lower body, the whole body. Let me see if there's anything else they're highlighting. The eyes. I don't know if you wear glasses or if you've had your eyes checked recently, but they're telling me get an eye exam just to be on the safe side, that they might catch something early, like maybe you need a stronger prescription, maybe you need an adjustment there to make it a little bit clearer, but that could be contributing to things like headaches for you as well, blurred vision, halos when you drive at night, if you drive at night, things like that that could be contributing to like head pain. Let's see if there's anything else. They're also mentioning that if they're showing me you walking a dog, I don't know if you have a dog and you take it for walks, but they're saying that if you're able to do mild exercise, like maybe you take a walk around the block with an animal, that might get things moving in your lymph system to help alleviate a little bit of the pain. The water therapy would also help with that. I don't know if you live in a place where there's like a hot tub that you can go into, like a YMCA, a rec center, an apartment complex, things like that, or if you have like a friend that has a pool or a hot tub, anything. The ocean would be good if it's safe to swim where you live, things like that. But water is going to be very beneficial to like help things move without pain, is what Spirit's giving me. So labs for blood work for like sugar stuff, like a full blood panel, like regular CBC, I think is what they call it. So just to check for anything that could be abnormal. Water therapy is really big that's coming through from Spirit. You may have a pinched nerve along with some back issues. And so there's some mild exercises that would help alleviate some of that. I've had that. It's awful. Don't wish it on anyone. And the nerve pain, I feel like, is coming from something being pinched in either your lower back or even in like your glutes, in your butt muscles. But there's something that's like, it's pinched in there. And so if we can get the swelling to subside, the pain starts to go away, and then a lot of the swelling and things will tend to go down. So get a checkup if you're able to for eyes. So like an eye exam, blood work, and if you're able to get in water or take a walk from time to time just to get things moving, that should help some. If you're dealing with a lot of swelling, try and elevate your legs if at all possible so that you can get some of that fluid out. It's also going to help with the pain and the swelling that you're dealing with. Don't even have a hot tub, just a shower. I totally get that. So we don't have, like my shower downstairs doesn't have a tub or anything either. So sometimes like because my feet are swollen all the time, like I have a lot of different health stuff. And so my feet swell a lot. So I'll take just like a little, I think I got it at Dollar Tree. It's just a little tiny, we used to wash dishes in those way back when. It's just a little tiny tub, like little short tub, and you fill it with an inch or two of water and throw some Epsom salts in there and soak your feet for like 20 minutes or whatever, however long you want, really. The longer the better, because it's going to help kind of detox stuff out of your body, but it's also going to help with things like swelling and pain. So if you're able to do something like that where you can just soak your feet in a little soak tub, that helps too. So things like that can help. I'm trying to think if there's anything off the top of my head that's like helpful and easy that you could just go to like a Dollar Tree or, Walmart or whatever and go pick those things out. So yeah, those are some things that might help. I do think that if you're having a lot of like the like tingling or stabbing pain, that's definitely nerve pain. And I would definitely get that checked out, because there could be something that's causing that. That's an underlying thing that you're unaware of. So like, I didn't know my blood sugar was high. Didn't know till I went and got random, just, regular checkup. And they're like, oh, that's off. We should probably keep an eye on that. So it could be something simple that it's easily managed through lifestyle changes. It could be something that, just happens as we age, unfortunately. Like sometimes our body's just like, no, we're just not doing that anymore. So if your eyes are bothering you, I would definitely go get an eye exam. If it's been longer than like a week and you're still having pain and swelling in the legs, I would definitely go get that evaluated just to make sure there's not something crazy going on that needs attention immediately. Not that I think there is, but just to be on the safe side. If it's a pinched nerve, they can give you, topicals and things like that, medication to help bring the swelling down. And that can be a game changer too. I had a pinched nerve in my back when I waitressed at a young age. I went to lift a giant thing of ice that I was supposed to team lift, and I was in a hurry to get out of there, so I didn't listen, and I pinched a nerve in my back. It comes and goes. There's times where I'm totally fine, and then there's times where I am bedbound and I cannot move my legs or stand because it's so inflamed. So Sometimes you just have to take some downtime. If your legs are really swollen, definitely elevate them if at all possible. Put some pillows underneath them about the knee and get some of that fluid to kind of drain out. Compression socks are another one that come to mind that can actually help make them feel a lot better. I have like really bad varicose veins in my legs and things like that. And so wearing compression socks makes them actually feel a lot better. So those are some things that I would try that are not medical stuff that you could do easily at home. And then if it's persistent, please go get that checked out because you don't want to run into bigger problems if it's something to worry about. It definitely sucks. And it's some of the worst pain in the world is nerve pain. And so I totally can sympathize. So I would try elevating your legs, soaking your feet in Epsom salts, and then if it persists, go get that checked out and go see if there's something else going on that maybe we don't know about. So when I do the scan, I sometimes feel things in my own body because I'm an empath too. And so I do tend to like feel certain areas of the body. And when I was scanning, I can feel some like heat and swelling on the right side. Feels like it's inflamed. I feel like the left side is compensating, so that may also be inflamed, but I feel like there's more pain on one side than the other. So that's definitely something I would keep an eye on. Also make sure that there's not like an area that's localized that feels really hot or is really red or anything like that, because those can signal things like blood clots. So if you don't have any weird areas on your legs that are like, oh man, where did that come from? Oh, I didn't hit it on anything, or I didn't trip, or you know what I'm saying? So pay attention to things like that. If you have like a localized area that's really hot and inflamed, really red, go get those evaluated because you can throw blood clots. I've done that as well. I had them in my lungs as a teenager. It was not a fun experience. So things like that you just want to be paying attention to. So a lot of times we're like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to go get these tests run. If it's something that's persistent and it doesn't get any better within the next week or so, go have that checked out just to be on the safe side. That way, you know, all your bases are covered and it's like, oh yeah, it's just, you know, we just pulled a muscle or we're just, you know, inflamed somewhere, and that'll go down with a couple of days of rest and maybe some anti-inflammatories or things like that. So just keep that in mind. All right. Anybody else? Did you want some cards, Gisela? You can have some cards too if there's anything you wanted me to pull cards on. I do hope that you start feeling better soon. I wonder what these little crowns are next to you guys' name. I have no idea what that is in the chat. I've never seen that before. That's cute though. Okay, anything specific you want me to pull for cards or just general stuff? Just whatever. General, love, spiritual, whatever you want. New or old love, general. Okay. So we'll pull some tarot and we'll pull some love and we'll see what we can find. New or old love. How funny. You know, being in all these retrogrades could definitely bring some people back, you know. Sometimes it's not because they want to date you. Sometimes it's for like closure and things like that too. I've had those experiences happen. Ooh, you are going to come into some money though. I like that. Okay. So I think you said you're retired. So this is unexpected money coming to you. I would normally say pay raise or promotion. So however you make money, I do feel like there's more coming in some way, shape, or form. So the Six of Pentacles is typically seen as more than enough. Okay. So you can be generous to other people. So let's say, you know, you want to go bless somebody that you see maybe just had a new baby or something. And you're like, oh, I have all this extra money, so I can bless them with something too. So that type of like charitable act, maybe you buy somebody lunch someday because it's like, oh, hey, I'm not hurting for money. I'm totally good. So yeah, so maybe you're going to get an increase or something like that, or some sort of unexpected money coming in. So I love that. The Four of Swords tells us that you do need some rest. Okay. So this is important. So The Three of Swords is all about like heartbreak and pain, grief, loss, all that stuff. The Four of Swords tells us that we're tired. And so we really do need to take that into consideration, that we need some downtime. I know you're also a Capricorn, and I know Capricorns are workaholics. So no matter what you do to keep yourself busy and occupy yourself, you may need some downtime and time to rest as well. Casino, yeah, maybe. That would be awesome. I hope you do. I hope if you go out there that you're winning money, not losing it, okay? We need to find some balance somewhere as well. So Temperance can also be a card of reconciliation. And you asked about old love or new love. So in theory, yes, there could be somebody that's circling the block coming back around, okay? Because they might want to clear the air. Maybe they want to rekindle things. But this is about balance. So if it's not a good situation, don't invest in it. If it is a good situation, choose if you want to invest in it. I do feel like you kind of like your alone time, and that's a great thing, especially if you enjoy your own company. I'm one of those people, like I get peopled out real quick and I need some time to myself. So the Hermit would indicate that you're doing some inner work, some shadow work. Maybe you just need a break from people and you want to take some time to yourself and be alone. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if you need that, take that and don't feel guilty about it. Ooh, and the Nine of Swords. You might be having trouble sleeping as well. This can be a lot of like worry, anxiety, things like that, sleepless nights, insomnia. So we want to try and like figure out what's causing that so that we can get some rest, because you need it. The Seven of Pentacles tells us that you need to decide whether something is worth your time or not. And if it's not, you may need to shift course and go in a different direction. So it's like you've invested your time and energy somewhere and maybe it's not going anywhere. So that's a chance for you to kind of decide whether you want to continue or not. The Nine of Pentacles tells us that you're going to be financially abundant, okay? And it's also a card telling us that what you've worked so hard for, you finally get to enjoy some of that. So enjoying the fruits of your labor. The Sun card is an interesting card because it typically is seen as the happiest card in tarot. So it indicates things like a fresh start, a new beginning, happiness, joy, expansion, marriage, children, all of those things should you want it. But it is a fresh start somewhere. But you have to ask yourself if you're willing to take a step in a new direction. Are you willing to try new things, meet new people? Because Spirit's asking you if you're ready to take a leap of faith. It does look like it leads to a celebration, so some positive news coming in. So do you have some goals for the future? If not, start planning or setting some goals so you can go forward. And there is something that it looks like you're going to be walking away from. I feel like this could be a past relationship. Like if one resurfaces that you're like, yeah, no, that ship has sailed. Not interested. So let's see what's happening in love. No sleep, mainly pain in legs. Exactly. So I feel like if you can get the pain to kind of subside. And again, if it doesn't, then I would get that checked out, because they can prescribe things like muscle relaxers that really do help with the inflammation. I had to take those for my back for a long time because I could not get comfortable at night. Could not, no matter what position I was in, pillow in between my legs, elevate my legs, miserable, could not sleep. So there's things that they can do short term to help get that swelling and inflammation down so that you can rest, because I feel like you really do need that. What is going on for love? What's happening? Oh, that was unexpected. Definitely a possibility. You could have some new love coming in and maybe they want to solidify things, okay? Partnership, engagement. Maybe you're not interested in getting married, but you guys have like a commitment with each other. You might change your mind. Engagement ring and wedding rings. Interesting. So there could be somebody coming in that you do marry. Interesting. Let's see what else we got for Gisela. Yeah, this could be someone from the past. It could be somebody new. I'm a little unsure. I do think that the Fool and the Sun would say that it's somebody new coming in. Could be a fire sign in Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. So the Fool energy is Aries and the Sun energy is Leo. And we're currently in Leo season and the new moon was just in Leo. Maybe it's a Leo. I don't know. It could be anybody. So let's see. So we have the camera. So learning from the past, making new memories, maybe reminiscing about some things. Maybe someone in the past really broke your heart. I don't know if you've ever been married before or not, but if it's someone from the past that you were like engaged to or married to or whatever resurfacing, I'd use some caution there. If it's a new person, I'd still use some caution, but kind of see where things go. Could take some more time, right? So all things happen in divine timing, things like that. We want it in divine timing. That means it's meant to come in. Oh, I love that. So stay optimistic about your love life. Stay positive, raise your vibration. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So stay positive. I feel like you're in this, what is the right word for that? Like not limbo, but you're almost in this reclusive energy right now. And so you're not like out and about. You're not really mingling. You're dealing with some health stuff going on right now. And I feel like you're just not up to it. So Spirit knows that. And so I feel like when things improve, that's when this new energy starts to come in. Heart-to-heart conversations are needed. So you guys are going to have to express how you feel about each other and retreat, right? See, because you need some inner work and you need some time to heal. So you're going to be disconnecting from the world for a little bit. Yep, soulmate. So you might be welcoming in a soulmate too, and it could go towards marriage. Interesting. Ooh, bottom of the deck says worth waiting for. Let's see if I can figure out the camera. And reconciliation. So it could be someone from your past that you guys reconcile. It could be somebody totally different, a brand new person, and divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay, so let's see. Tell me who the person is coming in. Oop, Sag fire sign. So it could be a fire sign. Doesn't have to be, but you know, I give you everything that comes out. Could drive a sports car. Somebody could be shy, quiet, and a deep thinker. They might wear glasses or sunglasses, a button nose. Who is this soulmate? Okay, we could have the letter O, F, Virgo, or an earth sign. Interesting, because you're a Capricorn. I think earth and earth could be really good together. You know, it's like, I think they could really mesh well. What else? Boyfriend, going from boyfriend to fiance to husband. Interesting. Might have blonde hair. One of you could have a crazy ex, that's for sure. Oop. One more. Z, X, and B. So we have B, O, X, Z. Is there any other letters? F. That was it for the letters. One more card. And blue eyes. Interesting. So he could have Sagittarius placements or fire placements, Virgo or earth placements, blue eyes, blonde hair, a button nose. Someone might drive a sports car, whereas glasses or sunglasses could be a little shy. Blue eyes, B, O, X, Z, and F could be letters in his name. Okay, let's see. Let's get timing. When is this person coming? No sports car needed. SUV for my house. I drive a pickup truck, so I don't like little tiny cars either. I like big cars. Put myself online looking for new, but figure old will creep in. Spirit knows. Spirit definitely knows. 6 months from now, changes start to take place. So that would be like the end of the year. Okay. So maybe around holidays, you might meet this person. Things might kind of go from there. Today, some changes start to begin. You might have some haters. So watch what you're posting online. Like, you know, sometimes your friends and family are your biggest haters, right? And so don't post everything that's important to you online, because I feel like some people just want to shit on your parade. So wait, it's not yet the right time. It's going to be 6 months or so from now. Some sort of indecision might be blocking it. So you've got to decide what it is that you want, you know, make that decision and tell the universe, tell spirit exactly what it is. If you put it out there, yes, spirit, I do want a boyfriend, or yes, spirit, I want to be married to somebody, to the love of my life, to somebody who respects me, who values me, things like that. Put that out there and watch things start to change, because I promise you it does. Rapid changes, lightning speed, sudden shocking news, huge changes. Proceed with caution. Don't get carried away. Miracles and divine intervention are occurring. and summertime. So June, July, and August, which would be current time to 6 months, the end of the year. Okay, let's see. Got a couple more. It's closer than you think. 999, I have goosebumps everywhere. Make your dreams a reality, a completion of a goal or a cycle, and under a new moon cycle. So those could have to do with timing. All right, 333, clear path, keep moving forward, and don't give up, keep going. So just because something hasn't happened just yet doesn't mean it's impossible. Things have to align, right? They got their own world and they got to come together. You guys got to collide. So I feel like between current timing, August through the end of the year, I feel like you're going to actually meet somebody. And I feel like you're going to know pretty quickly whether you really want to invest in this person or not. And if you don't, like, let's say that you're dating, and you meet somebody and it's like, yeah, no, we don't mesh well. I'm not interested. Just let them know. Be honest and tell them, say, yeah, no, this isn't going to go anywhere for me, and cut your losses and move forward. Because I do feel like you have somebody new that's coming in that's going to be like, yep, no, that's it. That's what I want. That's who I want. And they're not going to pussyfoot around. They're just going to take action. I see why I needed a reading. I love that. So we are going to start doing more of these for you guys over here. So, when I go live, if you're able to come hang out, ask questions, all that stuff. This one was kind of long-winded because I had to tell you guys all the stuff that was going to be changing and everything. But the next ones are going to be more focused on, actual readings, mediumship, and tarot and all that good stuff. And charm readings, like mid-August when they come in. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start giving you guys those. And those ones will be available for purchase too. I'll put a thing on the advertisement that I have up on the channel for the services offered. We'll get that up there as well for you guys. So I'm excited. I'm always trying to include new things, because I get bored really easy, in case you guys haven't noticed that yet. I get bored doing the same thing 24/7. So I'm always trying to change things. And I feel like me picking one channel to really focus on is going to help that. So I'm going to keep posting on TikTok until the end of August, and then that's it. I'm done. I'll probably, what's really bad is I'm probably going to delete all my content over there and post a video of, if they want to find me, I'll be on YouTube with the info, and that's it. And then I'll leave that up for a couple of weeks so that anybody who wants to migrate over here can, and then I'm going to delete the account permanently and be done. I was going to do this whenever the heck, I want to say it was January or March, something like that TikTok went through its first, we're going to have a ban. I was in the middle of a live over there when it shut down. Literally in the middle of a reading for somebody and it shut down. And I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Could not get back in. Could not. So I was like, okay, well, this is garbage. So I deleted the app in my phone, and then it was removed from the app store, so you couldn't download it again. So 3 or 4 weeks went by before it finally went back in the app store and I could download it again. So it made me realize that I really don't need it. I waste a ton of time over there for literally nothing, just scrolling constantly, and it's like, God, I would have so much more time in my schedule to do things I enjoy, but I get stuck watching all these dumb videos, and so I just decided I don't want to do that anymore. I want to engage with real human beings in real time. And so I like doing personals. I like doing live streams, even though I'm nervous to be in front of the camera a lot of times still. I would rather engage with you guys in real time and get to know you and talk to you and help you with readings. So ta-da! That's what we're going to do. So I've made my peace with it. I'm totally cool with whatever happens going forward, good or bad. And I think it's going to be really good. So I hope you guys will continue on the journey. If you guys ever have a topic for a reading, if you guys ever want to be a part of the podcast, email me. Let me know if you have a topic or an idea, or you want to shoot the shit with me in a podcast episode. Shoot me an email. Let's hear your idea. Let's see what we do. And you never know, you might just get to be on the podcast with me. We'd film it remotely, the live together thing, or I have a way that, we could do, it's not Zoom. What is it called? Google Meet. You can do a private meeting that way, and I can record that and we can use that as the podcast. There's ways to do it. So you don't have to like come to Colorado to film one. You can do it in your own home. You just need a smartphone or a laptop, something with a camera that we can see you. And simple as that. So let me know if you guys have topic ideas or anything you're curious about, like, hey, would you be willing to do an episode on yada yada? Yeah, let me know. I'll do some research. I'll see what I can come up with, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm super excited to start doing some like different topics, and they can be taboo, they can be kind of out of pocket, whatever. I think ones that kind of make people question things are really fun to watch. And I watch podcasts like that it's, it's not real cut and dry. It's not super mainstream. I'm totally open to ideas like that. The premise behind the podcast is about sharing knowledge and learning from each other's experiences. So if it falls into that category, let me know. All right. You're so welcome. Just listen to yourself and stay with YouTube. Yeah, I'm just not going to give myself the option to not, because I've tried really, really hard to make it somewhere with TikTok, and it's just not. It's not the thing that's going to work for me. I tried it really, really like hoping that things would grow, and it did to some extent, but it's like I can't get past this hurdle of like 6,000 viewers. And so like some videos over here get thousands of views. Super easy. In like 24 hours. Over there, I'm lucky if I get 100, 200 views. And it's like, it's just not reaching the audience that I want it to reach. And so over here, it's like, it's just easier for me. It's just better. I can upload a ton of content like once or twice a week for you guys for the whole week. And, it doesn't consume my entire life. And so I think that would just be better for me all the way around. So that's what I'm going to do. So thank you all for being here. Thank you guys for subscribing. Remember, the next time that we go live is going to focus on mediumship. We'll do tarot if anybody wants it, but we're going to focus on mediumship, and we're going to see, what messages Spirit has. Again, it's set for subscribers only. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to start missing out. Hit the subscribe button. You've got nothing to lose. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. And I would greatly appreciate your presence here. So have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you guys soon. Bless your soul. Thank you so much, Bridie. See, I'm going to remember it. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again in my head until it's like committed. Bridie, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us over there around the globe. But we'll see you later, Gisela. And let's see, Natalie, if you were still with us, thank you so much for being here. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.